dog. She's all excited. Okay, so I'm gonna do a quick update for you guys. I'm gonna try to keep it quick. On my doctor's visit from yesterday. This was the follow-up from the hospital. If you guys haven't watched that video, I'll link it down below. There's a lot of updating there. I don't want to recap, or this video will be just as long. So there's a couple things that I missed for my update, and I had somebody reminding me, so thank you. My weight gain since getting pregnant, I started out at 185, and which was kind of an all-time high for me, but you know, I'll lose it fast once he's born, and then I can focus on my body. But I have gained, or I am now at 210. I've actually been at 210 for almost 2 months now, so I haven't been gaining any more. He has been getting bigger, but I haven't been gaining. I've just been kind of eating. I haven't been eating as much. I haven't been as hungry as I was in the first and second trimester, so definitely good there. I don't want to gain too much. My midwife told me that she wants me to gain 25 the entire pregnancy, and I'm gained 25 now. That's just because of my BMI, since I was a little on the bigger side when I started my pregnancy. I went to an OB before her, and he wanted me to gain 25 to 40 pounds the entire pregnancy. So I was going off the 25, but obviously it's not something you can really control too much, especially if you are eating healthy. Some people just gain more than others. And I have a lot of swelling going on as well, so that's gonna factor into the weight as well. So I also wanted to talk about baby's weight. When I was at the hospital, they did measure him and get his weight, and he was 3 pounds 4 ounces. So that's great. That's a pretty good size for 30 weeks. So he's been measuring ahead. He was actually measuring about a week ahead as well. So that's really good, just in case, you know, he does come early, he'll be a lot stronger. So I also didn't touch base on my cervical positioning. I may have, but I couldn't remember. So usually at this point in pregnancy, they like to see your cervix high and hard. And as you get closer to delivering, it'll kind of lower. And that's kind of where they get the whole cervical shortening aspect of it. And at the hospital, my cervix was mid. So it wasn't high, it wasn't low, it was mid, which makes sense why it was 2.93, as where it should have been higher. But I went to the doctor's yesterday. They did another ultrasound. It was kind of a crazy visit. The ultrasound that I got when I first got there, my cervical length was back to 4.6. So that is really, really good. My midwife said that that is because I've been on modified bed rest. I haven't been sitting all day long in an uncomfortable chair at work, and I've been, you know, I have been walking around. I haven't been on just like strict bed rest. I'm able to do stuff still. I just have to take it easy and, you know, not just sit all day. She didn't check my cervix or anything. I wasn't dilated at the hospital, so she's not worried about that. Since my contractions have slimmed down, I am still having them. After the ultrasound, I had an NST done, a non-stress test. She wanted to do that to make sure I had no more contractions. They hooked me up to the monitor and gave me some juice and some food and stuff to get, you know, him active. And he wasn't moving much, and I wasn't really concerned because, you know, he'll, you know, do a couple big kicks and then won't kick for an hour or so. But I guess during the test they like to see at least 10 kicks or movements, since you are, you know, drinking juice, getting food in there, and plus the monitors hooked up to them kind of make them on the move. So he wasn't moving much. I think I got like 3 to 5 like little movements during the whole like 30 minutes I was hooked up. And along with that, I was having a lot of little contractions. And by little, I mean like, I think like their little scale that goes by twos. They wanted to stay at 0, like flat, but mine kept going up to 2, down, up to 2, and then down. So I didn't really think anything of it because I was feeling them, but they weren't painful. And so my midwife came in and she said that it looks like I had some uterine irritability and it wasn't making baby too happy. Every time that would happen, which was like every minute, it was happening pretty much, his heart rate would drop. Not much. It would go from like 160 to like 145. So it wasn't dangerous low, but it worried her, especially since he wasn't moving much. So I went back and got another ultrasound where they did a 3D, and I'll show you guys here. They did another ultrasound they were looking for him to do a couple different things, and he was fine. As soon as she puts the wand on my belly, he starts moving and flipping and everything. So he did great. He passed the test. He was even taking like practice breaths, which was really great too. And he's no longer breech. He's actually head down now, which is really, really awesome. I've been so paranoid this whole pregnancy that he'd be breech and I'd need a C-section. So fingers crossed that he stays there. Which, I mean, at this point he could still flip and go back, but we'll see. So overall on my appointment, I'm still taking the nifedipine, I believe it's called, to keep my contractions away, even though I still have the uterine irritability. I'm gonna start getting monitored every week instead of every 2 weeks. So I have to go in every Wednesday because their ultrasound ladies only in on Wednesdays. So I have to go in every Wednesday to do an NST, and if he's acting stressed out, then they're gonna do another ultrasound, make sure he's still doing those things, the 5 things or whatever he's supposed to be doing. And if he is, then I'm good. I'll be back in a week. If not, then I guess they'll probably have to do some further testing and hopefully not have to rip him out too soon. But my FSA, I don't know what it's called. The test for preterm labor was negative, so she's pretty confident he'll be in there until 34 weeks at least. So basically that test clears me away till 32 weeks. More than likely I won't deliver for 2 more weeks, so 32 weeks. And then I'll just have to make it 2 more. The hospital that I'm delivering at, actually, you have to be 34 weeks to deliver there. Since they don't have a NICU, they have a special care nursery that's like a really low level NICU. And they can care for babies 34 weeks and above unless they have serious issues, which at this rate it doesn't seem like he's going to. And this hospital is dedicated specially for birth and children. They're like a birthing center. It's more like you're, giving birth at home, not as much a hospital. They like provide you, they have like a big jacuzzi tub you can give birth in. They have fetal monitoring that you don't have to be hooked up to the bed. You can still walk around and they can still monitor baby if needed. So the other hospital that has the NICU in our area is way closer to my house, about 10 minutes away, whereas this hospital is like 35 minutes away. But if I'm able to make it that far, I want to have the birth that I want. So that's just kind of my thoughts. Plus, they're way, way nicer there. The nurses are amazing. It's a smaller hospital, so, they kind of get to know you more instead of you just being a number. So, so my midwife is keeping me on the nifedipine until 34 weeks. She's keeping me on modified bed rest until 34 weeks. Once I hit the 34-week mark, which will actually be 34 and a half weeks because I go in on Wednesdays and my weeks roll over on Fridays. So I'll be 34 and a half weeks when she takes me off. And then she's just gonna let him come when he wants. If he wants to come at 34, 35 weeks, she's gonna let him, because of my bicornate uterus, because of the uterine irritability. She doesn't want it to, she doesn't want to keep delaying it and cause more harm to him, cause more stress to him. So after that point, she's just gonna let him come if he wants to come. Which I totally agree with that. Yeah, I want him in there as long as possible, and I'm going to do what I can to keep him in there as long as possible, but I don't want to stop him from coming if he wants to come and then, you know, end up with him being stillborn or something scary like that. So far he's doing great. So I start birthing classes on the 10th of May, and it's a 4-week series. I go in every Wednesday evening. Wednesdays are gonna be busy days for me. Every Wednesday evening, for, I think it's an hour long, 2 hours long, maybe. I think it's 2 hours long for 4 weeks, yeah. And that's at the hospital I'll be delivering at, which is really nice. Sorry guys, I'm really congested today. But actually the last day of that class, since my appointments are on Wednesdays, is going to be the day that I come off the pill and come off bed rest. So I'm like, well, watch me go into labor at the birthing class. That'd be pretty funny. But yeah, so I have a couple other videos coming up. I've had a couple questions on circumcision, which I'm sorry, but I'm not going to talk about my choice on that, but I will talk about the research I did that helped in my decision making, and I'll give the pros and cons of both for you guys to kind of help you with your decision. And then also I want to talk about cloth diapering, because we're gonna try to cloth diaper. We have so many disposables. I'm gonna do a whole other video on that. I want to try to keep this video as short as possible, but I'm not going to show you guys my belly today. Let me show you the ultrasound, the 3D ultrasound really quick. And then the second time I had to go get an ultrasound, he actually showed us his face a little bit. He was doing like a little smirk. He's so cute. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for those of you who have stuck around even with me being gone and MIA. I'm going to leave a couple links down below, Instagram, so you guys can follow me more closely once I'm in labor for reals. I'll post a lot of updates there. This will be more so for birth story and all that. Probably a little bit later once I get, you know, situated with being a new mother. Along with, I also had a couple questions on my registry, so I'll put those below. You do not have to buy anything off my registry. If you want to, then it's there. And then also I'll put the link to my 30-week update down there as well. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys. I will be 31 weeks tomorrow, so I will see you guys either tomorrow or Saturday.